Hello, in this video we are going to review multiplication methods. Now many of you guys are very familiar with the standard algorithm, which we will review, but this video is also going to talk about two other multiplication methods called area models and lattice multiplication. In this problem, it says Miss Lott is planning a study abroad trip to Paris. There are 28 students going on the trip. The round trip flight will cost each student $674. How much money will it cost for all 28 students to fly to Paris? Now notice here I'm asking that we solve this using the standard algorithm. We are actually going to use the same problem and solve it using three different multiplication methods, and you're going to find no matter what method you select to use, you will always get the same answer. So this problem here, notice for each student it costs $674. And we have 28 students that Miss Lott wants to figure out what the total cost will be. So notice for one student it's $674. We need to find how much it will cost for all 28 students. So each student it's going to cost $674. To get all 28, we need to multiply. Now notice I'm rewriting this problem vertically and I'm getting ready to use the standard algorithm to multiply. The first thing I'm going to do, in fact, I'm going to actually do this in two different colors so you can see the two parts of this problem. I'm going to start with the digit 8, which is in my ones place. Now what I'm going to do is take 8 times 4, which is 32. We're going to carry my 3, and my 2 is going to go in my ones place. Now I'm going to do 8 times 7, which is 56, but I can't forget about this 3 on top. 56 plus 3 is 59. Notice I'm carrying my 5 and my 9 goes in my tens place. Now I have 8 times 6, which is 48, and 48 plus 5 is 53. So this is the first part of my problem. This is my partial product here from the digit in my ones place. Now before moving to the digit in my tens place, I'm going to cross out anything on top. I'm also going to change the color here so that way you can easily tell the difference between both parts of this problem. Now because I'm moving to the tens place here, that's showing me I'm multiplying by 10, which when we multiply by 10, we need to include our 0. Some of you might call this the magic 0, your placeholder 0, but it's very, very important when you have a double-digit number that you include this 0. Some of you have even drawn an X through it to show that you are adding this 0 in, showing that now you're multiplying by the digit 2 in my tens place. Now I'm going to take the 2 and I'm going to multiply by the digit 4 in the ones place. 2 times 4 is 8. My 8's going to go right here underneath that 2. So notice I started with the 2, the 8 goes right underneath it. Now I have 2 times 7, which is 14. It's a double-digit number, so that means we're going to carry, regroup, and bring the 1 above this 5. And my 4 is going to go here in my hundreds place. Now I have 2 times 6. So 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Now notice here I have no more digits left. Therefore that 13 is going to go right here on the bottom in this row, and I am finished using this part of the problem. So my final step now is to add both parts together. So now let's take it step by step. Now we're only adding the first part and the second part together. So let's start in my ones place. 2 plus 0 is 2. 9 plus 8 is 17. I'm going to carry my 1. My 7 goes in my tens place. 4 plus 3 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. And I have my 1 right here, giving me a final answer of $18,872. That is how much it's going to cost to take 28 students to Paris. Now, yes, that is a lot of money. Flying to another country is not that cheap. It does cost a lot of money, especially taking a large group of people. So notice this answer here, 18,872. We're going to solve the same problem using multiplication, but we're going to use another method. Our next method is called our area model. So notice just like the previous problem, we have 674 times 28. Notice it's the exact same problem. We're still going to multiply, but we're just using a different multiplication method. The first thing I'm going to do is draw a rectangle. And notice my rectangle is 3 by 2. We have 3 columns by 2 rows. Now notice here I did that because we have a 3-digit number times a 2-digit number. What I'm going to do is write both numbers in expanded form. So I have 674 first, which that's my 3-digit number. So I'm going to put it on top where the 3 boxes are, showing my 3 columns. So now here 674 in expanded form is 600. And in my tens place, I have 7, so the value is 70, and my ones place is 4. Notice 674 in expanded form is 600 plus 70 plus 4. I'm going to do the same thing for 28 on my side. So 28 written in expanded form is 20 plus 8. Now what I'm going to do is fill in the boxes. Let's start with this box right here. Above I see 600. And to the left of my box, I'm multiplying 600 by 20. So notice here, 600 times 20. Yes, you can set this up using the standard algorithm, but some of you might remember, well, let's underline my zeros. Let's box out my math fact here, which is 6 times 2. So now if I do 6 times 2, we know that's 12. And I'm going to include those 3 zeros in my final answer. So now here I have 12,000. Now I'm going to go box by box and do this. My next box here, which I'll try my best to do them each in a different color, I have 70 times 20. Same thing here. 7 times 2 is 14, and then include my 2 zeros in my final answer, giving me 1,400 as my answer in this box. Now again, I'm going to do that to each box. So here I have 20 times 4. Now notice I look to the left is 20, above is 4. So 20 times 4, which 2 times 4 is 8, add in my 0, and I'm left with 80. Now I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to keep doing each box at the same time. So now look at this box. To the left I have 8. Above I have 600. So I have 8 times 600. 8 times 6 happens to be 48. And now I'm going to include my 2 zeros in my final answer. Now let's do blue in this box. We have to the left is 8, and above I see 70. Now 8 times 7 is 56, and I include my 0 in my final answer, which is 560. And last but least, I have this box here. To the left I have 8, and above I have 4. So now I have 8 times 4, which happens to be 32. Now we are really close to finishing this problem here. The last step is to add all my answers together from each box. So I like to organize my answers from greatest to least. So here, the first one, I have 12,000. And notice I'm trying to keep this very organized, lining up each digit. Then my next largest is 4,800. Oh, this is a 0. And then I have 1,400. And then I have 560. And I have 80 and 32. So you can take this in 2 steps if you would like. I've had in the past you add 12,000, 1,480 together, and then the bottom row, and then you combine them together. That's fine as well. I'm going to take a look at my ones place. Here I notice I just have a 2. In my tens place I have 8 plus 6, which happens to be 14, plus 3 is 17. Now I have 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 1 is 13, 13 plus 5 happens to be 18. And then in my thousands place, I have 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. And then in my 10,000s place, I have just 1. Now I notice here we have a final answer of 18,872. Now looking back here, it looks like I got that same answer using the standard algorithm. Now here as the area model, I also got that same answer. Again, this is just another method of multiplying. Our last method is called the lattice method. So here what we're going to do, instead of writing my number in expanded form, I'm actually simply going to look at my rectangle again, and notice here I drew lines going from each corner of the box and down to the next corner. And same for here, going through all my corners. And drawing those lines helps me create this box and the standard for the lattice multiplication, and ultimately using this as a little template. So what I'm going to do now is write 674 and put each digit on top of the box. So notice I put one box at the 6, one box has the 7, and the other box has the 4. I'm going to do the same here for 28. I'm going to separate the 2 and then the 8. Now what's interesting here, what we're going to do is we're going to follow the same type of idea as we did in the last problem. Notice in this box here, above I see a 4, to the right I see a 2. So we're going to do 4 times 2 is 8. Since that's a single digit number, I'm going to put the 8 in this first part of my box, ultimately representing the ones place, and I'm going to put a 0 in the second part of the box, representing the tens place. Now in this box here, to the right I see an 8, above I see a 4. 4 times 8 is 32. So notice here I'm going to put the 3 in the first part of my box and the 2 in my second, forming the number 32. So ultimately your box is broken into the tens place and the ones place. In this box here, above I have 7, to the right I have 8. 7 times 2 is 14. In this box here, above I have 7, to the right I have 8. 7 times 8 is 56. In this box here, above I have 6, to the right I have 8. 6 times 8 is 48. In this box here, above I have 6, to the right I have 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Now gets to the fun part. What you are going to do is look between those dotted lines. So notice in this region here, all I have is 2. So I'm going to put 2 right here. In between these dotted lines, I have 8 plus 3, which is 11. 11 plus 6 is 17. So notice here, I'm going to put my 7 right here, but I'm still going to carry that 1 just like we typically do to the next set of dotted lines. So now I have 4 plus 1 happens to be 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. Again, I'm going to put my 8 in my hundreds place, and this 1 is going to be carried to the next set. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So here, 4 plus 2 plus 1, we are left with 8. And last but least, we have just 1. So now once we are all finished, notice I just circled everything in red, which is going to give me my final answer of $18,872. Now notice this answer is exactly the same answer that we got in all of these problems. So using the standard algorithm, we got this answer. Using the area model, we got this answer. Using the lattice multiplication method, we got the same answer. So Ms. Lott would pay $18,872 for all 28 students to fly to Paris. So this video introduced 3 different multiplication methods. Your goal is to pick the method that works for you. I know many of you have been using the standard algorithm for a long time, and if that method works for you, you are welcome to continue using it. However, if you are really, really good at that method, I encourage you to explore area models. I encourage you to try lattice multiplication. Give it a try, and I think you're going to find that it is really, really another great method to use. There is also 2 other methods called the Egyptian multiplication method and the Japanese multiplication method, which I will introduce to you at another time, but I do actually have 2 videos on that on my YouTube channel that you are welcome to explore. So in 5th grade, what we are going to really focus on is now 3 by 3 multiplication. So in 5th grade, you are going to see problems that look like this. 873 times 241. Now in this video, we are not going to go over that, but what I want you to do is please take a moment and just think about what you think you would do differently in this problem when you multiply using the standard algorithm. And in the future, and in fact, later this week and next week, we're going to be working on problems just like this. So I encourage you to explore this and think about what you can do. What is that one additional step we could potentially do? And as always, you can feel free to refer back to this video at any time on my YouTube channel to help you determine a multiplication method that you would like to use and a multiplication method that works for you.